Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the amendment to the Indian Constitution. And if we talk about the article, then Article 368 deals about the Parliament, how Parliament is allowed to amend the Constitution of India. The amendments are done by the Parliament by three different ways. That is, one category falls in the simple majority. By simple majority, the amendments are done. Then the second category falls in the special majority voting. The third category is special majority plus half of the ratification of the state, 50% ratification from the state. In the case of federation, the topics which are related to federalism of India. In 1973, in Keshav Nanda Bharati case, the Supreme Court gave the judgment that Parliament can amend the Constitution but cannot amend the basic structure of the Constitution, that is your democracy, secularism, then judicial independence, etc. Our Constitution is a living document. That means that several amendments are done as per the need of the current era, the need of the changing times. The first amendment talks about the land reform under Nehru's era. If we talk about the 42nd Amendment, it is something like a mini constitution. And then if we go to 44th Amendment, it is like restoring the pre-emergency era, after emergency, post-emergency era. The 73rd and 74th Amendment talks about the Panchayati Raj and municipalities. And if we talk about the 101st Amendment, it is for the GST implementation. Likewise, in today's session, we are going to see the different amendments done in different political era, be it your Nehru era, Indira Gandhi, Morarji Desai, Rajiv Gandhi, Manmohan Singh and PM Modi. Atal Bihari Vajpayee also. So we will be seeing all the amendments done in these political eras. So stay tuned with us. Hello students. So today we are going to discuss about the important constitutional amendments of India and what is the background story behind it. Who all are the prime ministers, leaders associated with those amendments, constitutional amendments, and the key impacts what we have seen from 1951 to your recent amendments under the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's regime, correct? And you know that it's not an easy process to amend your constitution, right? And in the Keshav Nanda Bharati case, it was said that you cannot amend, the government cannot amend the basic structure of the constitution. Okay, going forward, let's discuss what are the amendments under which political leader era. So if we talk about Jawaharlal Nehru era, the foundation years after independence. So after 1947, the government was under Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, respected Jawaharlal Nehru's era. Okay, so the first constitutional amendment happened in 1951, was the first major change. And it struck down the key land reforms and law reservations such as Champakam Dorai Rajan case in 1951. Nehru believed that such judicial rulings were blocking. So what was the Supreme Court doing? The Supreme Court was blocking the land reforms. Okay, Supreme Court was blocking the land reforms, and what Jawaharlal Nehru thought that if Supreme Court will come and obstruct in such kind of growing reforms, okay, land reform was needed because at that time Panchayati Raj, okay, that time zamindari system was at its peak, and under the zamindari system we do know that people are having lands, okay, they are having lands in huge proportion, they are having land in huge proportion, my dear students, and the poor farmers were not having the land. So Jawaharlal Nehru wanted to have these land reforms, but Supreme Court was coming, and thus we see this Champakam Dorai Rajan case in 1951. And then what was done to fix this? The amendment created the ninth schedule where laws could be placed to protect them from being challenged in court, especially land reform laws. So ninth schedule was created, and ninth schedule was protected from judicial scrutiny, and better laws like land reforms were placed in this. So there was birth of ninth schedule, which we have seen, and this was the first constitution which was fought by Jawaharlal Nehru for the implementation of land reforms which were much needed at that time, much needed after independence, because we have seen the grip of zamindari system in India has increased like anything. Okay, zamindari system in India has increased like anything, and there was huge amount of land which was given to whom? To the zamindars, and the poor farmers were landless. Okay, to eventually equate this, to give lands to more to the farmers and the tillers, Jawaharlal Nehru brought this ninth schedule, okay, to protect the rules and regulations and bills like land reform laws, which could be protected from judicial scrutiny. Okay. Then comes your Seventh Amendment under Nehru regime in 1956. What does Seventh Amendment talks about? The Seventh Constitutional Amendment Act 1956 was a landmark in shaping India's political map. Okay, after independence, strong linguistic movements demanded states based on language. So there was a lot of demand happening saying that we want the formation of state on the basis of language, linguistic basis of bifurcation of the states. Okay, the most emotional being Potti Sri Ramamallu's last fast and death in 1952. So we have seen Potti Sri Ramamallu's fast, and he took a fast, and because of that he lost his life in 1952. And after that we have seen there is something which came, was State Reorganization Act of 1956, and recognized Indian states largely on linguistic lines. So Seventh Amendment states they have started recognizing states largely on linguistic line. This also introduced the concept of union territories for region that did not fit into full statehood. Okay, and that time only the concept of union territories also came. Places where which do not fall under the criteria of statehood should be kept under union territories. Okay. Now comes your 21st Amendment Act, which was done in 1967. Students, okay, in 1967, we have seen that it was almost early Indira Gandhi rule, but Nehru's legacy was still happening in 1967 as well. So, 21st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1967 passed during the early ages of Indira Gandhi, reflected the importance of language in Indian identity politics. Okay, so after partition, a large number of Sindhi speaking people migrated to India from present day Pakistan. Okay, from Pakistan, what they have done, they migrated. Okay, they migrated. Okay, I can draw it over here. Okay, from Pakistan region they migrated to India. A lot of Sindhi speaking people, they migrated to India, and for them there was something called, although they became part of India's social fabric, their language lacked constitutional recognition. So to honor their cultural identity and demand, this amendment added Sindhi to the 8th schedule of the constitution. Okay, they have added the Sindhi to the 8th schedule of the constitution. Okay, and it was also the first language added after Nehru's era. So after Nehru's era, this was the first language which was Sindhi, which was added in 8th schedule of the constitution. Understood? 21st amendment of 1967, Sindhi was added in the 8th schedule of the constitution. Okay, now let's talk about the 24th amendment of 1971 under Indira Gandhi regime. Okay, we say that the regime of Indira Gandhi is an age of centralization. Why do we say that? Why do we say that the age of Indira Gandhi is an age of centralization? Because we have seen that at her time, a lot of powers were a lot of powers they have tried, the government tried to concentrate in the hand of the Prime Minister of India. Okay, even the President of India, the Council of Ministers, many a times were not asked about the important judgments. And when they were not asked about the important judgments, the impact was directly seen, and the whole system was transformed from a decentralized system to a centralized system. Okay, so 24th Amendment of 1971, done under Indira Gandhi, was bought by Indira Gandhi and was turning point in the tussle between the Parliament and the Supreme Court. Okay, the tussle between the Parliament and the Supreme Court was seen. In the Golaknath case 1967, the Supreme Court ruled that fundamental rights cannot be amended, restricting Parliament's power to introduce social and economic reforms. Okay, what Supreme Court has said in Golaknath case that you cannot amend the fundamental rights. Okay, and if you want to bring any social economic reforms, that cannot be done. It was said in Golaknath case in 1967. This decision frustrated Indira Gandhi's government, which was pushing a socialist agenda. And in response, the amended explicitly said that Parliament, the power to amend any part of the constitution, explicitly what they said that Parliament has the power to amend any part of the constitution. Did you get that? That Parliament now has the power to amend any part of the constitution, be it your fundamental rights, be it your any part of the constitution. So the 24th amendment of 1971 says this, gives this power to the parliament. Okay, and this makes the parliament supreme. Okay, gives the parliament the supreme power of deciding how the constitution of India should be narrated. Okay, then comes your 25th amendment of 1971 under Indira Gandhi. So 25th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1971 was another bold step by Indira Gandhi to push her socialist vision of India. Okay? So what she did, violation of right to property, which was then a fundamental right. Okay? So court said that the court repeatedly struck down parts of land acquisition and redistribution law, citing violation of right to property. Okay, so Supreme Court was saying you are obstructing the right of property to the people, and now you are trying to have a socialist vision of India. Okay, Indira Gandhi wanted to have a redistribution of land and all these sectors for the people on the larger good. Okay, and but government wanted a lot of land which was under the princes, under the long zamindars, correct? So court said that you are violating the right to property of people. To overcome this hurdle, the amendment curtailed the right of property and ensured that laws made to implement directive principles of state policy. Okay, so whatever right to property was having the power, that power was taken, and that was taken to implement what? To implement directive principles of state policy, DPSP. Okay, for DPSP we can amend our fundamental rights also. This was something which was given to promote equal economy equality and land reforms. Okay, now we are talking about, again in the Indira Gandhi era, we are talking about the 26th Amendment of 1971 under Indira Gandhi. So India was still paying privy purses to princes even after 25 years of independence. Indira Gandhi scrapped it. So what is privy purses? We were benefiting whom? We were benefiting the princes. Even after 25 years of independence, we were paying them privy purses, we were paying them royalties, okay, for their benefits even after 25 years of independence. But Indira Gandhi boldly removed this. She boldly removed this. A step towards equality and republic values. Okay, what are the equality and republic values, students? See, there are people like princes, but in India, when we are treating everyone alike, why we should treat the prince like differently? Why we should treat them differently? We should not treat them differently, and thus this amendment, 26th amendment, removed paying privy purses to the princes and thus scrapped it. Okay, to have more equality and republic values. Then come your 31st Amendment Act of 1973 by Indira Gandhi. With growing states and population, parliamentary seats needed redistribution. Okay, the number of states were increasing, the population was increasing, so more seats need to become. Okay, the Lok Sabha need more seats. So what she has done under this 31st Amendment of 1973, she has increased the seats from 525 to 545. Okay, from 525 to 545 in 31st Amendment. And why the number of states were increasing? The population of the country was also increasing. Okay, that's one. Then came your 39th Amendment 1975 under Indira Gandhi. Story after Allahabad High Court annulled her election. Okay, Allahabad High Court said that whatever election process by which she was elected is null and void. It's not valid. Okay. This amendment barred judicial review of PM president election. So what she bought, see, this is very interesting. So 39 Amendment Act of 1975, what she said that Supreme Court, the judiciary of India does not has the power to look into the appointment process of prime minister or president. So the Supreme Court does not has this power to look into the election process of prime minister and president. This was so centralized and this was so much to protect her own seat. This was so much into political agenda. The political agenda which was spreaded during her rule was seen as centralized and also seen to save her own seat. Okay, this was an attempt to save her chair because Allahabad High Court has said that whatever process she has been elected as the prime minister is not valid and it's not correct. Okay. Then your post emergency era come in after emergency during the reign of Indira Gandhi we have seen, correct. We have seen emergency having during the reign of Indira Gandhi, correct. So now post emergency era we have seen restoration of many things. So 44th amendment of 1978 under Morarji Desai. Okay, under respected Morarji Desai, we have seen that it was 44th Amendment Act and a lot of restoration post emergency era happened because a lot of disruption we have seen had happened during Indira Gandhi era. A lot of centralization, a lot of ways in which judiciary was not given respect, in a lot of way parliament was given supremacy. Okay, we have seen all these things happening during the era of Indira Gandhi. Okay. So here in 44th Amendment of 1978, what do we see? We see that after emergency excesses, people demand rollback. So what was the amendments? Restored Lok Sabha return to 5 years. Okay, what they have done? They have increased the years of Lok Sabha from 5 years to 6 years. So now they have restored it back, and now they are saying Lok Sabha is having a tenure of 5 years. Made rights to property only a legal right. Okay, made right to property a legal right. Prevented misuse of emergency, that is Article 352 requires written cabinet advice. This was a very important thing, my dear students. Okay. So what was done in the Indira Gandhi reign was what she said that during emergency, she is not asking even the council of ministers. The prime minister is taking whole and sole decision which should not be taken. And now in this, they have removed this article where you cannot misuse your position in emergency case. You have to ask, you have to take a written permission from the cabinet. You have to take written permission from the council of ministers, especially from the cabinet. Okay, restore democratic balance. The democratic balance of the country was, we have seen that the democratic balance of the country was somewhere shaken. Okay, the democratic value of the country was somewhere shaken, which again got restored under Morarji Desai regime in 44th Amendment of 1978. Okay. Then comes your 52nd Amendment in 1985 under Rajiv Gandhi. Okay. The Gandhi era was called Young India because the ideas and things which he used to bring was something very fresh ideas which he used to bring. Okay. So story is political instability due to frequent defection. So what he has seen that what Rajiv Gandhi has seen that there are a lot of political parties who are switching member from one political party to another political party. From one, they are jumping from one political party to another political party. Okay, members are jumping. Okay, this is not good. They are changing their political party, and a slogan was also there: "Aya Ram, Gaya Ram." Once he has, suppose there is a person. Okay, suppose that there is a person called Vimal. Okay, and he has joined a party, but after a few months or after a few years, what is seen? It is seen when the other party gives some incentive, then he shifts from this party to that party. This is something related to Aya Ram, Gaya Ram. First he entered the party and then he left the party. That is Ayaram, Gayaram connotation which was given at that time. And to remove this, Rajiv Gandhi came with this anti-defection law in which people had stricter rules in which they cannot change their parties so frequently. Okay, the amendment came, and in 52nd amendment we are talking about anti-defection law. Brought stability but later criticized for weakening inner party democracy. Now let's talk about the 61st Amendment Act of 1989 under Rajiv Gandhi. So under Rajiv Gandhi, we have seen 61st Amendment Act of 1989 also came. So what does it talks about? It talks about youth movement demanded a greater voice. Amended. So at that time only, what happens? People who were given the rights to vote, okay, rights to vote. People who were given the rights of vote, what was their age? Their age was 21. Okay, at the age of 21 years, a person was eligible to vote. But under Rajiv Gandhi, why it was called a Young India initiative? Because he was the person who was encouraging more the say of the youth. So he allowed what he allowed, he lowered the age of people voting. Okay, previously people were voting, they started getting the voting rights at the age of 21. Now they are getting the voting rights at the age of 18. Okay, getting the rights at the age of 18 empowered millions of young Indians. Now let's talk about the 71st Amendment of 1992 under Narasimha Rao, but was initiated by Rajiv Gandhi. Okay, it was done under Narasimha Rao, but it was initiated by whom? Rajiv Gandhi. The 71st Amendment of 1992. What does it talks about? Agitation from speakers of northeastern and regional language amended added Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali to the 8th schedule. Okay, the northeastern state of India. Okay, if we talk about the northeastern state of India, then we see that a lot of demand started coming from this region regarding language. That you need to add our language also in the 8th schedule. So, what we have seen, we have added Konkani, Manipuri, and Nepali in the 8th schedule. Even Nepali was added in the 8th schedule. So, if we see about this region, okay, this region of Bihar students, it is very much near Nepal. Okay, the borders are very much, and that at that time, at 1992, the border was very porous. People used to go from Nepal to India, India to Nepal. So, this was not a very bifurcated. And even now, if we talk about the Nepal region, which is near to Bihar, the boundary region, they are not that strict. People travel from one place to another. Okay, and even marriages happen from Nepal to India and India to Nepal. What we have seen in the nearby area of Bihar region. Okay, nearby the boundary of the Bihar region. Okay, so Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali were added in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Okay. Now let's talk about PV Narasimha Rao's era, which brought local self-government. It's such a blessing for our institution that local self-government came and grassroots democracy got an encouragement. Okay. So Gandhi's dream of Gram Swaraj revived. Okay, Ram Raj is Gram Raj. ठीक है, Gandhi ji thought that the progress should happen from village. The progress should happen from village. It should be bottom up approach and not from top down approach. What Gandhi said, the Ram Raj, it's Gram Raj, that is your Ram Raj should be something which should be very peaceful, very nice, developing, but it should start from where? From Gram, that is village. That was the insight, that was the vision of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so that was revived, and committees like Balwant Rai Mehta recommended Panchayati Raj. Okay, so Balwant Rai Mehta committee was constituted and they have recommended Panchayati Raj institution and gave constitutional status to panchayats. Okay, grassroots democracy institutionalized. 74th May, we have got municipality. In 73rd Amendment, we have got the panchayats, and in 74th, we have got urban local bodies, that is municipalities. The municipalities got constitutional status under 74th Amendment Act, and we have got Panchayats, the constitutional rights under 73rd Amendment Act. My dear students, in polity questions, you will get 73rd Amendment and 74th Amendment many a time. So read these chapters in your book, polity book, many a times, because 73rd and 74th Amendment of the Indian Constitutions are very important. Okay, and likewise you have 42nd and 44th also becomes very important. Okay, 42nd is called mini constitution, and 44th is restoration of centralization, which was done by Indira Gandhi. Okay, and again 74th and 73rd and 74th amendment becomes very important because the constitutional status was given to Panchayati Raj and municipalities. Okay, understood? Let's go forward. Now under the regime of our respected Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Okay, Atal Bihari Vajpayee was a leader who was respected by everyone. Even the opposition loved him. Okay, even the opposition loved Atal Bihari Vajpayee. That was his aura. The aura of Atal Bihari Vajpayee was so huge that his own party people used to respect him like anything. India used to respect him like anything, but even the opposition used to respect him very much. Okay, that was the aura of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So there was 86th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2002 under Vajpayee. Recognizing education as the path of empowerment, right to education was pushed and inserted Article 21A, free and compulsory education. So you got this right. Okay, your right to education becomes your fundamental right. Comes 21A with free and compulsory education from 6 to 14 years. So what he brought free and compulsory education for everyone under Article 21A of the Constitution. Okay, this becomes your fundamental right, and 6 to 14 years of age becomes your compulsory education. Strengthens human capital development. Then under the then under the regime of Manmohan Singh, our respected Manmohan Singh, we have seen 91st Amendment of 2003. 91st Amendment of 2003, what does it talks about? Coalition politics demanded stricter anti-defection norms, amended limited size of Council of Ministers, 15% assembly strength. So what he wanted limited size of Council of Ministers, that is 15% of the assembly strength. So 91st Amendment talks about limiting the size of Council of Ministers to be 15% of the assembly strength. Okay, whatever the size of the assembly was there, only 15% of the strength will be having by who? Will be having by the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers will be comprising of 15% of the members of total assembly. Okay. Then 97th under Manmohan Singh, 2011, we have seen cooperative movement was seen as a vital for rural development, made cooperatives as constitutional right. Okay, having cooperatives is your constitutional right because cooperatives is something seen as for the grassroots development of the country. Okay, cooperatives are seen as a grassroots, that is the bottom up development of the country. So constitutional status were given to the formation of cooperatives. Okay, later party partially stuck down by Supreme Court. It was partially stuck down by Supreme Court. So making cooperatives is your right, but some amendments were done. Modi era, social and economic reforms started happening under Modi era again. And 101st Amendment in 2016, we have seen one nation, one tax. Okay, we have started GST. GST came, and now do you know in news it is there now the GST slabs are 5% and 18%. The GST slabs are how much? 5% and 18%. There are slabs in which there is no GST, like life insurance and medical insurance. You have no GST. Okay. So GST has started in 2016 under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's regime. Okay, in 101st Amendment. So GST again becomes very important for you. It came in 2016. When it came in 2016, and now we have seen that our government has brought the reduction in the number of slabs. Currently, we were having the slabs of 5%, 3%, 12, 8, 18, 28. But now they are cutting down majority to 5% and 18% of GST slabs. Okay. 102nd Amendment of 2018 to strengthen the OBC framework granted constitutional status to National Commission for Backward Classes. So National Commission for Backward Classes got the constitutional status. Okay, under what? Under 102nd Amendment Act. Okay. 103rd brought your 10% reservation for the EWS sector. Economically weaker section has got 10% reservation. Who are all the economically weaker section people? They are from the general category. Okay, they don't fall for the SC, ST and OBC category. They are falling from the general category, but their economical status, their financial status is very poor, and that's why they need support from the government, and that's why 10% of reservation came for EWS people. Okay. And 104th, we have extended reservation for SC ST in parliament for another 10 years. Okay. That's all, students. At Universal Group of Institution UGI, we welcome you all. We are the first concept college of Karnataka. We have 24 years of excellence, and we have produced more than 8,025 officers. 8,025 officers we have produced in the government sector, be it your IS officer, IPS officer, IRS officers, CLAD, CUET. In all these examinations, we have our toppers. Okay, and we are the first concept college of Karnataka. So admissions are open. You can also check our website, students. You can check our website and you can enroll in all these courses. Okay, that's all. You can also join our Telegram channel, Universal Group of Institution. That's all, students. This is Rainy Simon, and happy Teachers Day to everyone. May everyone get that courage and insight to work more harder for your goals. Okay, that's all. This is your educator of economics and current affairs. Majorly, I take current affairs here at Universal Group of Institution, and we will be meeting again. Okay, students. Thank you.